All right, guys, I just woke up and I wanted to try to give you a little bit of some information about Act 2 that might help you so we can read it together um, while it's still early in the morning. Okay, so Act 2. Let's start off with Scene 1. Act 2, Scene 1. This is on page, I believe it's page 16-ish on your document. So this is where Macbeth and Banquo start having a conversation. Oh yeah, Fleance and Banquo are talking first, and then Banquo and Macbeth start talking about the weird sisters, and Macbeth says, "I think none of them." So there's not a lot to that. Then we move on to Act 2, Scene 2. Or actually, this is still Scene 1, so everybody leaves, but Macbeth is still standing there, and this is one of his most famous speeches, where he starts hallucinating that he's seeing a dagger. And remember, at this point in the story, his wife is essentially, asking him to go do this. So he says, is this a dagger that I see before me, handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. And he starts going on and on about this dagger. As you can see, this is the famous dagger scene right here. Okay. Now after that, he makes a lot of allusions in here, which, we've talked about a little bit so far already. And then we move right into the action. So Act 2, Scene 2 is when we pick up right in the middle. It's pretty much happened, okay? So Lady Macbeth is waiting, and she's by herself, and she's making some asides and soliloquies. And Macbeth comes back, and he says this: I have done the deed. So he did it. He killed him. And essentially, how he killed him was Lady Macbeth drugged the guards, right? They were asleep or passed out because they drugged them. And they killed Duncan. And Macbeth has some problems with this because he's having some real issues with the fact that they were saying prayers while they were sleeping. And, one of them said his prayers, and just like a normal person, Macbeth was going to say Amen at the end, but he couldn't say Amen. Okay, so that's at least half of Act 2, or at least the better part of it. Okay, Macbeth is already feeling the guilt. Lady Macbeth, of course, says that he's got to take the knives back to the scene of the crime, right? And this is the part where he has the problems. Macbeth shall sleep no more. He starts freaking out, right? Okay, and this is the part I really wanted to talk to you guys about, because Lady Macbeth leaves, right, during this scene. Act 2, I believe it's Scene 1. It might be Scene 2. Lady Macbeth leaves. She takes the knives back to the place. And while she's gone, Macbeth says, will all Neptune's great ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine. All right. As soon as Lady Macbeth comes back, he said that to the audience. And she says, a little water clears us of this deed. Right here. So essentially, we know this is irony, right? This is dramatic irony, because we, the audience, know something the characters don't. And we'll pick it up there later.